This video is another mix and match dealing with the new Bose S1Pro Plus that I recently repurchased. The reasoning behind the video is to create a micro system, as you can see, super tiny, something that would be great in a small space. I'm thinking of a bedroom or a small den. And mainly the video is about trying to get around the fact that if you're in the home, the Bose S1Pro is small enough to fit in a home. But when you look at the matching sub, the Bose Sub 1, I don't think many people would want something so big in the home. I'll show you in a little while how big the Sub 1 is. So I purchased this tiny subwoofer. It's called the Mackie WS-6.2. And it is a studio subwoofer. So it's not really made for the live sound community that most of us are probably watching are part of. And I want to give a heads up right away. I purchased this to be able to play directly from the augs out of the Bose S1Pro Plus, and it didn't work, unfortunately. My other subwoofers, you might have seen in the videos, the KRK-10S, that has no issue. Just running an XLR cable from the S1Pro Plus into the studio sub, which in that case was the KRK, and I had plenty of gain. For some reason, the Mackie doesn't have the gain. It just doesn't work. So that was a disappointment, but that's why you see a mixer here. So this system requires a mixer to work properly. But once you use a mixer, that little subwoofer is eye-opening, really shocking. And the spec is 120 dB from the Mackie, which is very high. So the KRK, which is a very powerful subwoofer, but much larger, is 117. So this is 3 dB more, which is noticeable. And then your other studio subwoofers, Atom subwoofer, or some of the other brands, Yamaha, JBL, they're about 113 dB. So going from 113 to 120 is quite a difference, audible difference. So this subwoofer can not only be used as a studio subwoofer, but it can also be used for home theater. And it is advertised for that purpose. It's super tiny, as you can see, and it has a front port, so you can slide this subwoofer pretty close to a rear wall. It's probably its biggest application would be under a table for a computer setup, and that would be really ideal using studio monitors and this little sub. But I'm just amazed at the output of this sub. I'll list my torture track that I played, and it was eye-opening. I brought it up to about, I was able to, with the mixer, I was able to mute the main channel, mute the Bose, and just listen to the Mackie. And I brought it up to about 85 dB. I don't know if you realize how loud 85 dB is. And this was in a large bedroom. So in a smallish space, like I mentioned, a bedroom or a den, 85 dB from just a sub is really huge. It was really impressive. So, and of course, this type of subwoofer has a different frequency response as your typical live sub. So your Bose Sub 1 and most live 12-inch subs roll off at 40 Hz. This one goes down to 27. So it's much more for audiophile experience than a live subwoofer that punches harder in those higher frequencies, the 40 Hz. But yeah, this is pretty impressive. Let me show you what I'm talking about as far as size, the Sub 1. So here we have the famous Bose Sub 1, which is the matching subwoofer for the S1Pro Plus. But, you know, just look at the size difference. It's kind of huge, even though the Sub 1 is the smallest subwoofer out there for live use. But in a home situation, you know, what do they call it? The wife acceptance factor. I don't think a lot of people would find a big Sub 1 would fit in their living room decor or their family room. So this Mackie is definitely an alternative. As far as volume, the Bose Sub 1 goes up to 124 dB max and the Cali at 120. So it is obviously the Bose Sub 1 is louder, punches harder at those high volumes. But 120, like I mentioned, is very, very strong, very good output if you use the mixer, like I said, and it has to be gain staged properly. Once you do that, that Cali is pretty powerful. Also, another rationale behind this video is not everybody can afford the $900 Sub 1. That's not inexpensive on top of the $600 S1Pro Plus. So the Cali is $500. So $400 difference is considerable. One of the differences of a studio subwoofer compared to a live PA sub like the Bose Sub 1 is it has a foot switch output. Now this foot switch doesn't come with it, but it's inexpensive. It's a Fender button switch, foot switch you can get on Amazon. I got it for about $20 or less actually. And it's able to mute the sub. And so again, for studio use, you can mute the sub, hear how your mix is coming along, and then you can click on it and then the sub comes back on and you can see how it sounds full range. I personally like it because I can sit back, that they give you a nice long cable. It's like 10 or 15 feet, about 15 feet. And I like to just mute it and be able to blend it with the top, in this case, the Bose S1Pro. Of course, if you're sitting right next to the mixer, I'm going to show you how I have the wiring. You can also just use your gain control to mute the sub. What else? As far as the Cali, it's super small. That's the selling feature of this subwoofer. It is just really tiny as far as the width. Now, it has dual 6.5-inch woofers, and that makes it vibration free. The two woofers on each side, let me go to the other side, they cancel each other out. So it's super stable, and that's why I'm able to put a mixer on top. Normally, it's not good to put electronic gear on top of a subwoofer. The vibration will eventually ruin electronic gear. But this subwoofer is so stable that I don't think there'll be an issue here. Now, I do want to mention something about the Cali, though. It is a little tank in a great way, and that is it's built super solid, but it is heavy. The Bose Sub 1 I showed you was 36 pounds, and the Cali, I've seen two different specs. I've seen 35 pounds and I've seen 31, and there's no handle on it, so it's kind of like dead weight. And just think of a bowling ball, which is 15 pounds, now double that, carrying 2 bowling balls. So you got to be careful because there's no handles. It's not super portable, but the reason I decided to keep it is because of the form factor, the small form factor where you can put it in places where you wouldn't put in any other subwoofer. Here's the mixer I'm using, Mackie Pro FX10v3 version 3, and it just fits perfectly. I mean, this was a coincidence. I already purchased this mixer a year ago, 2 years ago, and I just purchased the Cali 2 days ago. So it's amazing how it just looks like it's made for each other. I took a yoga mat, a black yoga mat, and I measured and I cut it in the same size just to get a little more vibration protection. But that's it. Now, there is one downside of this Bose system. Here we go, the S1Pro Plus, and that is you lose your Bluetooth on this particular mixer. And the funny thing is, the Mackie Pro FX10, they just came out with a Bluetooth mixer. So I'm tempted at $399. But anyway, getting back to this. So when you plug in directly to the mixer, you lose your Bluetooth. So I mentioned a college dorm or a bedroom. So you have this by your listening position. You just lean over and you adjust it. But again, I do like Bluetooth. And so that's it. I'll show you the cabling in a little while. There'll be no sound demo in this video. I want to keep it short. Cabling. So my main is my Bose S1Pro. I'm using a TRS to TRS cable, and that's from the main left out of the mixer. And then from the subwoofer, I'm running from the phones out, and I'll show you that cable in a little while. And I'm able to control the subwoofer using the phone's gain control. So really nice. You can mute it really quickly. And so I found the Cali at about 12 noon or 1 o'clock was really full power if you gain it correctly on your mixer. So here on the S1 Pro, that TRS 1/4 inch TRS cable is going to channel 1, and then I'm using the subwoofer. Let's see if I can see it better. It's dual RCA cable from the mixer, which is 1/4 inch TRS into dual RCA. Here's your cabling on the left, 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch TRS. Now I have a long cabling here, but if you're setting it up like the way I showed you, you can use, I don't know, 5 feet or 10 feet. And then the subwoofer cable is 1/4 inch TRS that plugs into the mixer, the phone jack, and then you're going into dual RCA male. Pretty simple, 2 cables. So here's the box it came with. Project Watts Cali Audio WS-6.2. I don't know why they call it 6.2. They should call it WS-6.5 because the woofers are 6.5 inches. Now people might say, well, that's kind of small for a subwoofer. But when you have dual opposing, it's equaling a regular 10-inch. I do have the KRK 10, and which is a larger sub, and this definitely equals the output of that sub. Now I'm going to make a separate video of showing you some spec results of how this sub performs to others, and again, very impressive. By the way, I don't work for Cali Audio, so I'm not getting any kickback, and you can't order through me either. So on that future video, I'm going to be comparing it to, let me look at my list here, the SB1000, which is $600, a little more expensive. And that's a pretty powerful subwoofer, but bigger, 12-inch. I'm going to be comparing it to the tiny, much smaller KC62, which is $1,500. And the Cali, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it kind of puts it to shame. But the KEF is just super tiny. I'm also going to compare it to the JL Audio D108, which is $900. And it's very comparable. I'll show you the specs. And then I'm going to compare it to, again, the very tiny SBS 3000 Micro at $900. So interesting specs and interesting results. So make sure you see that next video. A feature I like about the subwoofer is when you engage with the foot switch, you see the light blinking. That means the subwoofer is muted. And when you click it again, and it turns solid, so now your subwoofer is engaged. It's a nice feature that you can see what your status of the subwoofer is from a distance. If you read online reviews about this subwoofer, one of the criticisms that shows up, and I agree, is for some reason the crossover is only adjustable between 80 Hz and LFE. That's pretty unusual. I'm thinking of, I have another subwoofer, a very inexpensive subwoofer, $190, Presonus 8. It has an adjustable crossover, and so does my other studio subwoofer, the KRK 10S. So I don't know why they do this in a $500 subwoofer, but there are instances where I would like to dial it down below 80. I mean, right now with the little Bose top, 80 is fine. But when I'm using higher quality studio monitors, like I have a pair of Focal Twin 6s, which are very expensive, I think 80 is too high. I'd rather dial it down to 60 or even 50. Okay, in summary, of course, you want to know about the price. So the S1 Pro Plus is $600. The Cali is $500. The Mackie Pro FX10 is $270. Don't ask me about this stand. It isn't made anymore, unfortunately. But there's other small stands on Amazon, so I'm figuring about $50. You only need 2 cables. I'm figuring, and short runs if you're going to set it up like this. So I'm figuring about $15 each, $30 or $20 each. So that's $1,450, which is expensive. I'm thinking of, for that money, you can get an EV30 column system. You can get a Bose Pro 8, or you can get the JBL Mark II, which is all battery powered. But so why would someone go with this little micro system? I'm thinking if you already have the Bose S1Pro Plus and you're looking for a subwoofer and you can't afford the $900 the Bose Sub 1, then this is a great option if you don't mind losing the Bluetooth, like I mentioned, at $500 compared to $900. And if you want to do double duty, this subwoofer is home theater capable. It will rock your movies. Again, not in a huge living room maybe, but in a den, or it would be incredible in a bedroom. I haven't really tried home theater yet. I just got this subwoofer. I just got it 2 days ago, and still testing it. But like I said, I'll put the link down for my test track. I was really amazed at the output that it's capable. Okay, hope you enjoyed. This is Bill. Later.